laying out for a tape measure. On all tape measures, between the whole numbers, these little marks in between, everything that goes in between is the same between 1 and 2, between 3 and 4, 12 and 13. It doesn't matter what number you're on, what whole number you're on. Everything in between there is exactly the same. So, what I want you to do, take your sheet of paper and, well, if you fold it this way, that's called folding it the hot dog way. If you fold it this way, this is the hamburger way, and that's the way I want you to fold it. Fold it in half, crease it. Okay? So now, what you have is 2 equal parts. So this center line right here, that will end up being your marker for 1/2 inch. Now, if you look at your tape measures, you're going to see that center mark. It should go half the distance of your tape. So if you have say a 3/4 inch tape, it's going to go down 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is in that crease, I'm going to make a mark down approximately 1/2 the length of the crease. So that tells me that there's half on this side, half on this side. So up here on the board, so you can see it, that's approximately a 1/2 inch or halfway down, and I'm going to mark that as a 1/2 inch. Okay, on the American tapes, everything is divided into halves. So, looking at this right here, if I have this already marked as a 1/2, the next increment down would be taking this part here and marking it at a 1/2. And what I want to do is I want to draw my line down to where it's approximately half the length of this first one. Now if you take, it's close. Now if you take a look at it, you've got 4 equal parts. Before you just had 2 equal parts. Now you have 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to label these, you're going to label this one 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2/4 down here because that's the 2nd fourth. And then this one over here is the 3rd fourth. Okay? So on your paper, what I want you to do is to fold in to your middle mark and fold it. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold it into your middle mark and fold it. Now, you should have 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do now is you're going to label those by drawing a line down half the distance of the 1/2 mark. And you're going to label them 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Okay? So your paper should look something like this, labeling out all the fourths. Okay. Like I said before, in America or the United States, everything is divided into halves. So we're going to now take these and divide them into halves. And like I said before, this line should be half the length of that one, approximately. Okay? Now, first we had 2 equal parts, then we had 4 equal parts. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. So to label these, this again is the 1/8, this is the 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and then your 8/8 would be out here. which would be equal to 1. Now, when you're reading a tape measure, you always read your fractions in lowest terms. So in other words, this would be 1/8. This one would be read as 1/4. It would not be read as 2/8, even though it's equal to it. 3/8, this one here, would be read as 1/2, and so forth. So, on most tape measures, they will go down to the 16th. So, if we divide this into half again and put shorter marks on there, now you got 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, 5/16, 6/16, 7/16, 8/16, 9/16, 10/16, 11/16, 12/16, 13/16, 14/16, and 15/16. Okay? There are some tape measures out there that will actually go even further. So, what they would do is they would come in here into 30 seconds. And that's going to be too small for us to put in our papers or whatever. But anyway, when you're reading this, your lowest denominator or your lowest fractions is the ones that you read. 1/16, 1/8, 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, 3/8, and so forth, right on down the line. So basically, your tape measure, as it gets smaller, or as the numbers get more congested, it's just dividing them by half. And each of your lines comes down half the distance of the other one. So that should help you when you're looking at your tape measure. Just look across there and you should be able to see by the length what that measurement actually is. Okay.